Arturia's EFX Fragments is a very interesting granular effect. When I play my sample, Hallo Freunde, and turn this one on, Hallo Freunde, I see a grain mix button. If I turn this down, Hallo Freunde, I still hear effects from here, and now I choose a different effect, which to me explains very well what's going on. This yellow one represents the grains, and the white ones are the input, which I have frozen. This is my buffer, which is 2 bars long. I can now say, please play the whole thing faster. Hallo Freunde. I'm still hearing some extra effects. I can set the speed to 0. But what I don't see here is some position adjustment tool. But I can switch over to the manual scan mode. That means that this button is now moving my position. And I'm having the typical granular options. I'm now able to layer grains, change the size, add some randomness here, and also here in the pitch or in the position. And that's the typical stuff I want to do with a granular synth. I can also make the whole sound more harsh, enter the advanced mode, make the size smaller, and use different shapes. But to get some cloudy sound, I use the grain release option texture. So if I want some modulation, I can, for example, use the sequencer down here and let it play some notes. Say assign, and then assign it to pitch. I can choose if it's bipolar or not. And scale the output. I can also use other function tools like this one. Assign it. So one can see that even if the whole thing is standing still, I can generate movement within the effect. Of course, the effect has much more options. So for example, in this preset, Hallo, I'm generating a kind of stutter effect using a grain quantization and using a smaller buffer over here, and also some modulation via function generator. If I want real cloudy stuff, I can also increase the number of grains to 128. What's also interesting is that there is an undo button here, or I can also use some interesting panorama modulation or all kind of different effects. For example, if I go into this menu, I see the different effects in here and also see some pan modes, which I can activate by hitting the on-off button here. Those two are not necessarily intensity and FX. I can also rename them because they are just macros. These two here, and if I say assign, I can also assign, for example, the position, and then I'm moving the position with this too if I want to. So there's a lot of hidden stuff in here which you don't see in the first place, like those menus and this option with freeze, which is of course very important. The grain capture options, the grain release options, then the effects and the trajectory modes, and also the grain quantization, the sequencer, the advanced mode, and a lot more. I hope this gave you a nice first impression.